Welcome to Sacred Wandering with Kira Brinton. My friend, this is a corner of the world where time stops, where the noise in our minds quiet, where we have soft hearts and we open our palms and we ask. This is a place where we receive. I invite you to join me as we wander through the sacred together. Welcome to Sacred Wandering. Good morning, my love. I welcome you into this space. We're going to start with a nice deep breath in and out. And in again and out. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, move your shoulders, just get into the body, get into the heart, get into the space of truth. And trust. Trust that today, when we ask, we will receive. We're going to call in all of our angels and our guides to come and sit with us, to hold space with us, to show us exactly what needs to come through today. We're going to ask in the deepest place of sincerity, peace, wonder, and light, that we may be witnesses that God still speaks. We're going to ask that our ears may be blessed so that they may be tuned to the frequency of the voice of God so that we can hear the words that God has for us. We are going to ask that light will bless our lips to purify them, to prepare them to speaking with God. We're going to ask that our hands may be blessed, that they may be open. Our palms may be open to the heavens, that we may receive the actions that we need to take, receive the visions that we need to step into, that we may be in receiving. We're going to breathe in and out. So I'm going to start with a message that God gave me one morning. These are the words that I received. Clear the fear and doubt out of you. And instead, hold the faith. You are the container, so be it. You are the container, so be it. This was almost a year ago. And how many times has God had to give me that message? More times than I can even count. God's like, Kira, when are you going to learn to clear the fear and doubt out of your body, my love? It's like comical, actually. The amount of times I have to hear that message is ridiculous. Oh, to be human, to be human. It reminds me of a prayer in the holy text that I grew up in. And this prophet Nephi, where he had this prayer once where he was like, I've seen angels, I've seen visions, and yet I am so human. Why am I still struggling with doubt? And I feel that prayer. I feel that prayer right now in my life. I feel that prayer a year ago. It's like I have seen so many miracles. I have witnessed literally God parting the Red Sea for me over and over again. I have seen God pull fire from the heavens. I work with angels, and yet I still doubt, and yet I still cling to fear. Oh, to be human. It's just the most frustrating experience, right? But it is in our humanness that we find ourselves in deep surrender with God. It is in our humanness that we must co-create with God. It is in the humanness of the fear that we choose to worship over God that we meet God. We meet God in our humanness. So may we love our humanness. May we love our doubt and fear that we just so turn to, like the addict to the drug, really, right? Like it's like we just so turn to the fear and the doubt like the addict does to the drugs, because they've been there and they've given us quick fixes. And for some reason, we trust them more than we trust faith. But may today, as we go into prayer, we place in the fear and the doubt and we give it into God and we ask God to transform it into the fuel of faith that is so deeply needed for us to accomplish what God has asked us to accomplish. So, are you ready for this? Let's pick it up. I know it's heavy. There's a lot of fear and doubt we got to pick up today. We need about 8 hands, but that's fine. You're going to put them in the palms of your hands, and we're going to put our fear and our doubt into God. And we're going to ask that God will transfigure it and transform it into the fuel of faith. We're going to ask that this faith may pulse through our body like the heartbeat that keeps us alive, it pulses through us. We ask that this faith may be strong, that it may ground us, that it may encompass us, that it may be immersed within us, above us, below us, around us. That faith may be in the very molecules of our being. We're going to ask for this today. And I'm going to ask that God may touch our cells, that our cells may match the frequency of faith, that our cells may match the frequency of faith in action, which is what miracles are created from. May our cells match this frequency. Take a nice deep breath in, watching your cells transform to match the frequency of faith. Then we're going to ask that God will place his hands on our head to give us a blessing, that we may receive the words, the commandments that are for us, our blessings that are directly from God, uniquely and catered to solely us. And I'm going to be quiet while you receive. Take a nice deep breath in. And if you need more time, as always, pause and then return when you are done receiving. We're going to open our palms and we're going to ask God, what is the number one action you need me to do today? And then we're going to listen. And then we're going to ask our angels to help us take this action. We ask our angels that we may be able to do this with grace, with ease. We surrender it all over to God. We place it on the altar. And we ask that God will help us do the impossible. We ask for strength, the strength of armies within our bodies. We ask for the faith the faith of Moses. And we ask to be held in peace. For to be called requires much. But on the other side, much is given. So my prayers are with you today, that you be wrapped in the whispers of the prayers and the blessings of the angels that walk amongst you. And that you remember who you are, a divine being, an extension of God, light upon this earth. And with that, I thank you for wandering with me into the sacred. And I will see you tomorrow morning in our prayer corner. Thank you, my love, for wandering into the sacred with me today. It is always an honor to hold this space for thousands of us to gather daily in sacred devotion. If you feel called to deepen this practice and join me live, I invite you to be a part of the Sacred Wandering Circle, a private, intimate space where we share our daily blessings in a Facebook group and gather once a month for a live 1-hour session. We come together to bless the body, to pray, and to receive. There is so much power when we unite with others who hold the sacred sacred. If your heart is nudging you, you can find the link in the show notes. And remember, you don't need anyone to help you hear God. You are the conduit. God speaks directly to you. And your prayer corner, it lives within you always.